Happy Christmas Eve. I hope you're all doing great. I hope you're all feeling good, sober, no hangover. The goal today is to get through today, not drink, whatever it takes. Whatever tools you have in your toolbox, use them. If that's this group, if that's sobriety in the storm, if that's quit lit, if that's checking in with a significant other or a friend, whoever it might be, use that tool and use it to the best of your ability. Get through those urges to drink, but have a good time. Have an exit strategy, have a way out, have a plan of action that you can execute. Take a break, maybe go outside, get some fresh air. Whatever it is that you're doing, avoid going to the bars, avoid going to these restaurants where there's going to be alcohol being served, especially if drinking is a trigger for you still. Maybe you have FOMO, maybe you feel like you're missing out by not drinking. uh, Whatever it is that you need to do to get through those urges to drink, I encourage you to do so. So I'm glad that you guys are here checking in. I took a little bit of a risk coming on here this morning because a lot of times holidays are busy. A lot of people are busy doing other things, not checking on YouTube or online much on their phones. So maybe you're watching on TV. Maybe you're just kind of relaxing, having your coffee and checking in. And if you are, I'm so happy that you're here. Um, if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name's Josh, living life alcohol free. If you guys are returning, thank you guys so much for being here. I got a few comments yesterday. I actually woke up this morning, read through a few comments, and there's a few of you guys that are struggling to stay sober. And that's kind of why I wanted to reach out and get on here and just, touch base with you guys, share something that happened a few days ago, but also share what my Christmas is going to be like today and tomorrow and Saturday. Friday, I don't have much going on, thankfully. We'll have a little bit of a break that day, and I'll just kind of relax, unwind, no obligations, and that's my plan. But uh, the other day, so I'm not working that much right now. It's kind of a slow time anyway at work, but I did have, and I drive for public transportation for my job. So, excuse me, I did have a situation the other day where I took like a well, I called dispatch. They told me go ahead and you know wait around, and so I did. I waited around. I ended up waiting around for like 90 minutes. It's one of the longest I've ever waited for the next pickup. But I got a message a little bit later after I dropped that person off from the dispatch supervisor, and she said, "Can you explain to me why you waited behind this bowling alley for 90 minutes?" And I said, "Well, uh, I called her back, and I said, I got your message on here." And she said, we're bogged down here. We can't look and see what you guys are up to, but why didn't you let us know?" And I called back. I said, "I absolutely did. I called so and so," and she said, "Okay." And so once I got to waiting around, and then I heard she said, "I called for help," and I said, "I did get that on the radio. I heard that, but then you also said that you needed it like right away," which I was a half an hour out. I was right there for my next pickup anyway, so I just figured, So anyhow, the lines got crossed. The text came over not. It was accusatory. It came across as like not sympathetic or not, not trying to understand almost. So it's like I almost wanted to take offense to it, but I didn't, and I ended up just, I just played it out. I said I called. I also said that, I typically don't sit around that long, and I'm always willing to help. And I let you know about the phone situation, and I let her know, what happened. Good morning, FF. And so she said, the lines got crossed. That's okay. That's fine. No big deal. But those situations can, if we're drinking and we're drinking through those, if we're in addiction or we're drinking during those stressful times at work, and we're taking that stuff personally, go home or go to the bar after work and just go drink at it, and that's how we deal with it. But 5 years out, I don't drink. I don't have urges to drink. I still stress out. I still, especially this time of year when there's a lot of people that are struggling and stressed out and using that as a way to take it out on other people. And because, I mean, the old adage is true: hurt people hurt people. And this time of year can be a hurtful situation for a lot of us. I went to a funeral yesterday. It was for one of my in-laws, uh, her and his dad. And it was, he collapsed the other day, not responsive, called, and he died. And so this happens 3 days before Christmas. And man, it's like, well, I think it was 4 or 5 days, but the funeral was yesterday. So, but in any case, what they're going through, is difficult, and they're not drinkers, so I don't think that that's going to be like an issue for them. I mean, it may be. Well, they do drink, but they're not like, they don't drink the way that I did. So I don't suspect that they're gonna use alcohol to cope with that. But we're going through this time, and we have to rejoice with people that are rejoicing, and mourn with those who are mourning. And whatever we're going through, whatever you guys are going through, if you're sober and struggling, or not sober yet but want to get sober, these are the occasions where we just have to not just white knuckle it. These are the situations where we have to have a plan. We have to have a group, a community of people, of like-minded people that know what it's like to go through this, go through addiction, struggle through the holidays. Like I said, I made a sobriety challenge last year. I'm active in it this year. Me and a few others on my sober group on Facebook, Sobriety in the Storm. And welcome in, you are. And so it's 121 days of being alcohol free. But it's also, if you're still drinking, and you're still, but you're still learning through those drinking sessions, that is what's important. Welcome, Nas. And so far so good. I am going to a Christmas Eve party at my in-laws house. We're going to do a little gift exchange, and I'm sure there's going to be drinking there. There always is. One of the things that I do, that I started to do after I quit drinking in 2020, and I started to kind of learn how to get through those occasions without drinking, or without even having like these like hard urges. I started driving separately. My wife, because she stays longer than I want to a lot of times, so we'll go, and I do want to go. I want to be there, but at the same time, after like a few hours, I'm ready to go. And sometimes she likes to stay 4, 5, 6 hours, and I'm not keen on just sitting around and chit chatting while everybody's drinking. You know what I mean? That's not what I'm into. So, um, and I chuckle because of this comment, but that's okay. Um, let's see. Yeah, I'm excited. Absolutely. How about you? Um, and so anyhow, that's what I ended up doing. That was one of those strategies that I employed to help me through those urges to drink, those get-togethers, because it's difficult. And a lot of time, and actually talking to my wife about this, having that conversation, and absolutely, I can give you a shout out. And um and getting through these situations where I don't, I'm not sure how to talk to my wife about this a lot of time. These are difficult things to sometimes have to talk out, but it's important that we do talk them out. And I just basically just was start talking saying it from the heart. Like, I'm there, and there's a lot of drinking going on, and I mean, I'm not, and then they're not getting like blasted or anything like that, but um, thank you. And they're not, they're not getting hammered like I would be if I was drinking. But at the same time, uh, there's there's things I can do to mitigate those triggers, and leaving early is one of them. Not hanging around and not needing to feel like I need to, you know, yes, I want to be there for my wife, but at the same time, it's just one of those things where, hey, I'm going, but I'm gonna have to leave a little bit earlier than you, and that's the way that it has to be for a while. It's still that way, but that's the way that it is. We have to protect our sobriety. We have to be able to be honest with not just ourselves, but with those people in our life. And be able to be okay with with our decision and be confident in that, and do what we need to do to protect ourselves. And that's just the way that it is. And sometimes it gets a little, it's hard for her to accept that. I see a shoulder shrug sometimes, like this morning. I said, I'm gonna go do a live stream, then I'm gonna go, I'll come back, I'll help you load, and then I'm probably going to drive separately, and that's, I got a little bit of a shoulder shrug from that. Man, I got a dry mouth today, dry throat. But in any case, I'm glad that you guys are here, taking your time out of your morning to do that. As soon as I figure out you are how to put a shout out on here, I will. Uh, I don't typically comment back on here, so I think maybe if I hit that little plus, no, that doesn't work. How about if I hit a share? No, that doesn't work either. Uh, yeah, I haven't commented on here, but anyhow, um, but getting through those urges. So I titled these "Get Sober, Stay Sober" because sometimes it's easy. Uh, it's not easy, but it's not as difficult as we might think it is to get sober, but staying sober is can be difficult. And so these are the kinds of things that we can talk about to get through these occasions and not drink. And sometimes family members can be triggering. Personalities can clash. We can have conversations that we don't want to get into, or conversations can go away. I heard one person say yesterday, in another conversation from across the room, but I heard him say, "I don't like the way this conversation's going. I can see where it's heading, so we need to end this conversation right now." And he was joking, but at the same time, it's like, you know, that's one of those tools that, we can learn as we get sober, and we can say, I maybe you can joke around about it and say it in the conversation, or maybe you just need to, like I do, you don't confront that, you just kind of walk away and go somewhere else. Maybe just go outside and take a break or whatever. Maybe you have to leave. I mean, you have to do what you have to do to protect your sobriety, whatever that might be. And we have to put ourselves first. And one of those things, through addiction, that I kind of knew that I had a problem with, was when we're addicted, we are self-absorbed. Our addiction is number one. The most important thing in our life is getting to that next drink, and we'll sacrifice whatever it is that we need to sacrifice to get to that drink. And there's nothing more selfish in the world than addiction. I mean, we don't really recognize that when we're in it. It's hard. It's, because first of all, we lie to ourselves. We lie to other people. It's hard to be honest about our drinking. Sometimes, like for me, I called it a habit. I didn't call it an addiction. I call it a habit. And but as I quit drinking and I got a few weeks under my belt, I was thinking, I was addicted. I was addicted to it, not just the alcohol itself, but the actual rituals of it, the daily rituals of thinking about what I'm going to drink later, what time I'm going to start, going to the store, getting it, going home and drinking it. Or maybe I'm going to a brewery or a bar for a little while. I might have a couple drinks there, and then I'm going home, but then I'm going to drink the rest of the day or night. And then you black out, and you find that solace that you're looking for, and then you get, but then you pass out. You wake up in the morning, and here's where the next ritual starts. The ritual that none of us like. You wake up at 3 in the morning. You've got anxiety. You've got dehydration. You're hungover, and maybe you get back to sleep. It's not great sleep, but maybe you get back to sleep, and you do, and then you get up and you function the best you can, but you're still your head is in the clouds. You're swimming from the night before, drinking all day or drinking all night, and but then you start thinking about alcohol again, and then you repeat that cycle. You love it for the day, but then you sacrifice your next morning, and if you really overdo it, you sacrifice the whole next day. And those are the occasions where I think, I don't miss it. And those are the things that I would think about early on in my sobriety. But back to the selfishness. So when I got sober, and this is my experience, and I've read a lot of testimonials about this, but it's true. We put ourselves first when we first quit drinking because, we have to. We have to get through this. We have to be able to succeed in getting sober, and to do that, we have to be able to put ourselves number one, at least for some time. It doesn't have to be forever, but it does have to be for some time. So then you start thinking, I'm selfish for doing this and doing that, and I'm putting myself first, but I also need to, and I put myself first in addiction anyway. So what's the difference if we are putting ourselves first now again? Um, and I see a lot of people trolling on here, but is there anybody that needs these words? I'd love to hear it. I know there are some, but in any case, so what happened for me was after a certain amount of time, I was able to finally um, put myself first. But growing in my faith was a huge thing. I started to lean on my faith in years 2 and 3. Uh, I started to put God first, and then I was able to kind of not worry so much about what I was going through day to day at this point. Then once I was able to do that and do things every day for God's glory and not my own, then I was able to give other people what they need, and be there for them. Like, be there wholeheartedly, not preoccupied by thoughts of drinking, not preoccupied by um, my own hangups, my own issues. I mean, we're all human beings. We all have uh, issues. Some are different than others, but it's important to recognize those and work through them when we can. And not drinking gives us the ability to be able to do that. If we're drinking and we're trying to solve all these issues, uh, I mean, I did it. I tried it. It never worked. It sometimes it helped. Sometimes maybe it did work for a short period of time. But then when I went back to drinking again the next day or the day after that, uh, it was right back to that same old pattern, that same old behavioral pattern, and lashing out, being irritable, not being in control of anything, feeling like I need to control everything. That's another thing. Like, first of all, we can't even control our drinking while we're in addiction. So, but we try to control everything else, and it's impossible to do that. we're fumbling everything. And if we screw up, uh, for me, like that, the anger and the irritability was the main reason why I quit. I wanted better relationships, and I knew in order to do that, that I was going to have to confront my drinking. Um, so, House of All the Animals, welcome in. Uh, Bad habits form when the void of true purpose comes from lies from those who should have been seeking the truth. Yeah, those are awesome words. Those are true words. Uh, if we don't have that purpose and we're trying to fill those voids and we're lying to ourselves and we're using alcohol to manage everything, never going to be able to get to the place where we want to be. Welcome in, Ray, and happy Christmas Eve to you and yours. And so, what's everybody doing for Christmas? Drop it down in the comments and let me know. I've got another couple minutes here, and we'll have to wrap it up. But uh, I'm glad that you guys made it in here. I wasn't quite sure what this was going to be like. Um, let me see if I can. Oh, here I gotta. Let me see if I can figure out how to post here, because I haven't done that before. Put down in the comments. Dan says, I feel like you said hi to everybody but me. Hi, Dan. It's hard to catch all these comments, but like I said, I want to be able to interact with you guys, so I need to kind of figure out. Welcome in, Ball Striker. I need to figure out how to put a comment on here. Anybody know how to do that for the person that's holding the live stream? I don't see anywhere to put it. Here's a start a poll, start a Q&A. What if I put a start a Q&A? What's everybody up to? Today. What's everybody up to today? It doesn't have to be Christmas related. Done. And there we go. Can you guys see that? All right, so that's the best I can get on there right now. So these number twos and these crowns, top fans, Mork, Ball Striker, and B, top three, and then it goes down from there. All right. Well, I don't see anywhere to put it in the chat, but let me know what you guys are up to. I posted a video this morning about Christmas, about the holidays, and how we can get through these urges to drink if you're struggling today. And then check in with my sobriety group, Sobriety in the Storm. I pinned the link in the comments and all the videos that I post. So stay tuned. I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. But of course, I'll be back. I'll probably do another live stream on Friday, so I'll check in with you guys. Matthew, happy holidays to you, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks all for being here.